talk a little bit about how the loner personality can make the most out of networking situations. I would not say I'm a natural networker. I prefer my own company above the company of others, but sometimes we can find ourselves in situations that require our presence. So a few pointers on how to milk these kind of situations can make them more bearable for the hermetic entrepreneur. In the era of faceless social media, sometimes good old-fashioned networking can help you bring the numbers in. I mean, nowadays people can make the mistake of getting caught up in online environments, and then they can forget there are people at conferences and right in their own communities who would be good to meet, or at least expand your sphere of influence, and networking is one of the ways you can do that. So here are some things to think about when meeting face to face, where to go for greatest impact and what you may be looking for on your travels. The hermetic entrepreneur hates to go out and touch the flesh meeting people, so it's best to make it count. The following is an experience which happened with one of my mentors. So it's described to me many moons ago in the sales field, sales department. This is the type of scenario where individuals were having to go out and bring back sales, basically eating what they killed out on the streets. Now, when my mentor here, Christopher, became very good in his field, one of the top salespeople selling life insurance packages. And at first things started out slowly. He did not know anyone who was in any type of authoritative position, anyone who would become, say, a big elephant-sized client or contract. He was starting out at the bottom, and he had just moved to a new area, and things, as things turned out, he got into a huge argument with his next door neighbor. And his next door neighbor at the time happened to be somebody who was a person of influence in the community at the time. And this particular person, they started bad mouthing him to everybody in the community. So that when he went out to call on people on his sales calls, Christopher was finding that he got a very poor reception. It was like his reputation preceded him before it even got started, because the well had already been poisoned. And so this was his experience when he started. So one day he calls on this store owner, and the store owner and him started talking, and they struck up a bit of a rapport, a bit of a friendship. And it just so happened that this store owner ended up telling him about the neighbor that he had the argument with, and that was bad mouthing him. And this made it kind of more known to Christopher what was really going on behind the scenes. And it turns out that the shop owner also hated this influential guy. So, and he told Christopher this, and mentioned to Christopher that he could come along with him, and this shop owner will now introduce Christopher and endorse him to people in the community. So the mutual hate became like the mutual hate that they had for this other guy, this neighbor guy, became a motivator for the shop owner to help Christopher out. Now, why is this an important concept? Well, Christopher went on to become one of the leading estate planners. He outgrew his talent to the point where he was the chief endorser for big deals all over the world. But the point of this particular story is to show that life is a series of exchanges between you and other people, and there's been a tendency for other people to lately to hide behind their keyboards They don't have these unpleasant experiences of face-to-face meeting where people cannot be receptive to you, or and they'll be antagonistic. So a lot of people today, I mean, they hide behind their computers, and they transact a lot of things, at a distance, as a way of protecting those inner feelings they have. And one of the reasons to share this story is we all live in what is called the human condition, which means we have good things which happen to us as well as the bad things. And we have people that like us and people who do not like us, maybe for reasons we don't even know. Like, your face might remind them of a babysitter who slapped them around as a child. You never know. So anyway, the point is to get to a level of understanding where being at peace with the human experience, the good and the bad. I mean, the good news, there is good news with even these bad experiences, is they can be quite often converted with a little bit of patience into a phenomenal win. And well, the example for Christopher, who had this person who mutually hated the other guy because the other guy had also made enemies. So you never know who is going to be your ally or come to your aid when you need it most. And the other side of this is, it was this particular shop owner. They were important because he was another influential individual, so it almost cancelled out the negative effect of the neighbor. This shop owner was respected by other people in the community, so that now they were willing to disregard all the bad gossip that they heard around the community. The neighbor was spreading. So what you see going on here is that centers of influence are the key to real networking. Instead of glad handling everyone and pressing the flesh, shaking hands, handing everyone your business card, it's good to seek out the centers of influence in the crowd. So if you're going to put yourself out there, you have to make a concerted effort to find those people of influence and get them in your corner endorsing you. And this creates, through hard work of, it kind of puts you it helps you bypass all of the cold calling and prospecting, because you've got someone of influence who's willing to endorse you. So, I mean, for example, at National Diversified Funding, when we want to make introductions to business owners, so when we want to have introductions made to, or introduce ourselves to business owners, we don't go out and cold call on these business owners because we are not recognized by them. So what we do is we partner with accountants. We partner with people that the business owners already respect, and so we're introduced to the business owner because we have effectively become the merger and acquisition arm of their accountants. So when we are introduced to the client, we are introduced at the highest level from someone the business owner already respects, and we get no resistance at all, out of credibility. Our credibility is immediately established, and we enjoy a privileged relationship with the business owner who, they're willing to work with us instantly, really. And this requires becoming a little bit open and charismatic, just to help you open those doors. So for more articles and tools, go to www.sagetactics.com. This is Alfred Angelo for Sage Tactics, representing National Diversified Funding Corporation.